Alright there guys, and welcome back to another video. Been a week and a half since we did the last one, after I uploaded two so close together. But today, just like I said in my previous video, this video is going to be about a cartoon. And which cartoon is it? The Simpsons. That's right, The Simpsons. One of my favourite cartoons of all time. And at the time of recording, I've just finished season 16 and I'm currently watching season 17. You might remember earlier this year, I said I was going to try and watch every single Simpsons episode from season 11 onwards all the way to the end, since I'd already seen the first 10 seasons. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to finish it. I think maybe I can get to by the end of season 20 by the end of this year. But definitely nowhere near close to the end. Maybe I'll be able to finish it next year, but not this year. So, what's the topic of today's video? It's actually about when and how will the Simpsons end? Because this is a topic I've actually thought about for quite a few years now, and this topic has always intrigued me. Because it's a bit like the conversation with One Piece. When and how will One Piece end? That's the big, in the anime community, that's the big topic when it comes to One Piece, of when will it end and how will it end. Whereas for The Simpsons is kind of the cartoon version of that. Of course, The Simpsons has been running for 32 years. And that's the thing. Matt Groening and all the producers at The Simpsons, how do you end a franchise that has been going on for this long? They have tried to end the Simpsons franchise before with the trilogy of episodes set in the future, but they decided not to make those the final episodes anymore. As The Simpsons is currently on its 32nd season, it's still the longest running sitcom of American sitcom of all time. And apparently it's been renewed for another 2 seasons, so we're going to end up going up to season 34. Nearly 3.5 decades of this franchise. When will it end? There's no way you can predict it. Maybe in 2020. Maybe in 2024. Because, it's the 35-year anniversary. It's an anniversary, so it'd be a good place to wrap everything up. But that's just a guess. There's no way you can predict when it will end. But how it will end? Well, I'm going to go through what my original idea for the end of The Simpsons was going to be. Originally, my idea was, if you remember, at the end of The Simpsons movie, Maggie is about to say her first word, isn't she? And she says, sequel? Which made you think, is there a second Simpsons movie going to be released at some point? And yes, back in 2018 or 19, it was confirmed somewhere that The Simpsons movie 2 will happen at some point. We just don't know when. And the first movie came out in 2007. It's been a while. It's been nearly 15 years since the first movie was released, and there's still no signs of when the second one is going to be released. But my original idea was The Simpsons movie 2 should be the end of the franchise, and I still think it should. I still stand by that. The Simpsons movie 2 should be where the franchise comes to a close. But my original idea was The Simpsons movie 2 to begin at the very same point the first movie ended, so where Homer and Bart are on the roof rebuilding the Simpsons house. after the events of the first movie. But I found out earlier this year that the opening theme song to The Simpsons that plays at the start of every single episode, where Homer leaves the power plant, Bart gets out of the school, Lisa goes out of her music class, and Marge is driving home, that the first episode of season 18 basically show in the opening, it shows the aftermath of what happened in the first movie. So that idea goes straight into the bin because there's no way that can happen. So my new idea for how I think The Simpsons should end, of course this is just my personal opinion, I have no evidence to back up what I'm saying, this is just all guessing. So my original idea was that was my original idea. My idea now is a bit different. So have a final season of The Simpsons. So, I don't know, let's just go with season 34, because that's where The Simpsons currently is going to end, as there's no confirmation if there'll be anything for after that. So we'll go with The Simpsons season 34 in 2023. It's going to be anywhere between 20 and 22 episodes, just like all of the seasons. And some of the episodes in the season would be the Simpsons characters reflecting on. It'd be another reminiscing episode, because there are quite a number of reminiscing episodes, like when Homer and Marge reminisced about meeting for the first time, Lisa's first word, those sorts of episodes where events that we never actually saw happen in the present, that we only ever see them when they're being looked at in a flashback reminiscing episode. So have 2 to 3 episodes of pure reminiscing about things that have happened throughout the franchise, and the characters recall what have been known as the most iconic moments in The Simpsons. And any maybe plot holes or theory, or maybe even theories that fans have had about the show, the final season could actually taking a look at some of those theories and addressing them, but in a way that's not directed at the camera. They're just brought up in everyday conversation, but they are in reference to theories that fans have had about the show for years. And then they wrap up a bunch of plot holes. They see a bunch of characters from throughout the franchise make one final reappearance in the final season. So people like Dr. Marvin Monroe, because he was thought to be dead after the first couple of seasons, but then in a much, much later season, which I don't even think I've got to yet, Dr. Marvin Monroe just randomly reappears out of nowhere. So he's still in the Simpsons canon, he is still alive. But Bleeding Gums Murphy, he's not. He ain't anymore, unfortunately. Maybe Lisa reminiscing about him in one of the episodes could be one of the episodes for the final season. Lisa reminiscing about the time she spent with Bleeding Gums Murphy and how he helped her to improve her ability on the saxophone. Then, once the final season came to a close, The Simpsons movie 2 would release, and that would be the finale. Now, what would the plot of The Simpsons movie 2 be? That's all up for interpretation, because I've got no idea. I don't even think The Simpsons producers themselves and Matt Groening, I don't think they know really what The Simpsons movie 2 plot is going to be yet. They're probably not really even thinking about it, as they've got seasons 33 and 34 of The Simpsons to do first. But it could be a bit like, if you remember the Simpsons 138th episode spectacular that's hosted by Troy McClure. You may remember me from such films as No Troy, Not Here. And then maybe come to an end. Maybe the ending scene of the whole franchise would be all five members of the Simpsons family standing. Maybe in their maybe in their house, but you'd want to get all like a bunch of like reoccurring characters in the show, like Ned, Lenny, Carl, Abe, my G Gil. Honestly, Gil, what an amazing character he is. He is my favourite Simpsons character that isn't a member of the Simpsons family. Gil is he's just hilarious. But maybe have the Simpsons, maybe they're just the Simpsons family in their house. All of them look at the camera and say something like, "Thank you for sticking with us for the past 30, let's go 35. Let's say the Simpsons movie 2 releases in 2024. So 35 years after the franchise began. So they say, "Thank you very much for sticking with us for the past 35 years. It's been a long, long time. And we know we haven't always met the standards that you would like over the years. But we thank you all for sticking by us and watching us for the past three and a half decades. But this is where our story finally comes to an end. Thank you all for watching. And to round off, they all do like one of their catchphrases from throughout the series. So Homer would probably go, "Ciao!" Bart would probably say, "Eat my shorts, don't have a cow, cowabunga," any of those. Marge would probably just go, like she does. Lisa would probably... What would Lisa do? What's one of Lisa's catchphrases? Oh, I mean, one of her most iconic catchphrases is, "If anybody needs me, I'll be in my room." Maggie, of course, can't speak, so she'll just suck on her pacifier, since that's basically Maggie's catchphrase throughout the show. They all give one final bow to the camera, and then the end credits start playing. And maybe, just maybe, just like at the end of Phineas and Ferb, how the creators had talked about it a little bit when in the final episode, maybe Matt Groening and a few of the other Simpsons producers and writers do something similar to that, where where the camera cuts to them, and they thank everybody for the last three and a half decades that they've spent with the Simpsons family. Something like that. I feel like that would be quite nice. But yeah, that is my thoughts and ideas for what I think The Simpsons should be by how it ends and when it ends. Mostly how. If you guys have enjoyed this video and you're interested in seeing more cartoon videos from me, then please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and until next time, catch you later.